I think it's okay now.
Yeah, I guess we can just leave it like this then.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And the stream is started, right?
The stream is on now.
Can you share your screen for a second?
Yeah.
And then in OBS. Yeah, can you make that window a bit smaller? So that we can see like the coupon and everything? So, no, not this window. I mean in OBS, the red
Just
square,
one moment.
the red square with smaller.
Sorry.
So people see everything right now. It's good. Yeah, so the red square there, you make it a bit smaller, and then we should be able to. Yeah.
This one? Just one moment.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. How about, yeah, let's just stick with that then.
So what do we do now?
Yeah, can you just make it a bit smaller and then.
Okay.
And then we should be good.
This one?
Yeah, and then you can remove what's in the background. There we go. And then, yeah, put that in the top left, and then we should be good.
刚才听到那个 Patrick 说话呀。
是现在不行了。
We're almost there.
OK， 那你那啥，今天来打堵车，所以我就先接了朵朵。
Okay.
Okay, I think that we can leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you can stop sharing your screen, and then we should be good
Okay.
to get on with this.
Great.
And we'll just go check and make sure that the video is back. Should be good. This is a bit of lag here on the stream. Okay. So I think everything is working now. So I'm very sorry about that. And okay, I see in the chat that it seems to be working for everyone as well. Okay, very good. So sorry about that, and yeah, Patrick, you're good to go ahead again.
Great. So yeah, let's just go back. Okay, so yeah, if you decide to get coached by me, what I'll probably ask you to do is to send me a video of an Ep.5 or mean of 3, whatever relevant, of you solving, preferably from an angle where I can actually see what you're doing, kind of like this, like how Caden has done here. And then I'd also like it if you would reconstruct them, which he's also done, and I've just copy and pasted the scrambles and the reconstructions in this document so that I can kind of go line by line and analyze as I go. And yeah, so I'm just going to, I think, I'll leave the volume on, and yeah, we'll just go through this video together. So, yeah. Do I have this tab? Okay.
你不要看电视了，再看电视我的网络就坏了。
我看出来了，
他好少看电视。在那是。
我说现在去买那小升，让我买那小升，说够了，你看够不够？我
我捡大堵车那个路口封了，我提前1个多小时，我想着刚好去抠，不是去那个大统华买完了去接朵朵。我一看时间，我觉得看接朵朵的时间悬。
你再给我说一句，看电视，生日没有礼物。
我怕接朵朵的时间悬着，我怕再堵，我就先去接的朵朵。没看我。
没事，不着急，现在4点多。
对啊，我就说那我现在去买呗。
You have to do like that R2
去买吧，他说不用买，还是需要买的。哎，你把这个声音进来。
That R2
我惊了。
听那个什么的时候，
大姐，我
like a
惊
bit
了。
awkward.
因为我刚才听直播的时候，我听到你说话了。
And yeah,
我
just
现在
leaves
直
you
播
with
的
the
音。
first pair.
因为那个画面没有了，所以我们在讨论怎么弄回来。我是觉得咱肉比较多，是不是配点菜？最后如果肉吃，
还要啥？
就我给你列的那几样。
就那个。
What I would probably would have done is reserve something or do the cross a little bit differently.
反正如果大家，我觉得不用了，
不买冰块，
不用了。我把那个
韭菜和芥
I
根菇。
think in
对，
this
主要是还有大蒜。
it's so hard to maybe I can do it.
我去，居然在屋里打羽毛球。
家太大。
Yeah, like you have
好吧，好吧，没想到。小程呢？
在阳台上舒服呢。
你去上去开会呗。
我不管在哪儿开会，你们都不许用我的网。
Okay. So before you just assuming you didn't do that turn, you have this kind of block of pieces that make an F2L pair together already. So if you don't do that first R2, sorry, this key is hard to manipulate. I'm just gonna have to do this a couple times. Okay. If you don't do this first R2, this 2 pieces being here, and you replace it with like an FLF prime to solve the green and orange pieces, the L will bring these 2 pairs up, and then if you solve the rest of your cross normally, you'll have both of these pairs in the top layer, which I can try to represent here.
多多，你让雷友哥哥教你怎么样玩快一点，你不想快一点吗？不想那个3×3，这不怎么样速度快一点？
And so you'll see if you do those moves, which like solves the cross in a similar amount, you have like this first pair to go off of, and you clearly know where it is and can plan from there. I think the rest of the solution was quite normal. For that second pair, this kind of way of solving the pair is very
哦，是吗？哇塞，
like
我怎么关啊？
I think a lot of people learn that as like the first sort of algorithmic way to solve this pair, and it's just really not the best way to solve it.
你稍等一
I
下。
think it is the shortest, but it's just not very fast. And then this third pair that you do with like B moves is actually quite good because you save yourself a rotation. So I think that's quite good. And the rest of the solve is pretty good. You don't really pause too much for your last layer cases, and you execute them quite well. Note this, it would mainly just be your cross and second pair, and the cross being the most important thing. Having a better first pair and having a better cross solution to influence your first pair, and then choosing a better second pair solution. All right, so let's look at the next one.
稍等，但是我没有开呀。
因为 OBS 开，然后它有可能是，我们下次应该再看一下，我们那个开始之前应该先看一下这个。
All right. So I think the cross seems to be much easier on this solve than on the last one. Yeah, all these pieces are really close to being solved. So I expect for you to find your first pair. And it looks like you did find it because you went straight into it. This red-white into the front slot, which already isn't the best. I think in this case it's sort of fine because you have this pair immediately to go after, and they'll solve more or less flows. But as a general rule of thumb, I'm sure this is something that gets told a lot, is that you probably shouldn't solve your first pair in the front slot. The reason for this is because you're forcing yourself to rotate, unless you get some very lucky rotationless cases after that, which isn't very common. Given that your cross was already quite easy, you maybe could have set up for an X cross, or maybe even chosen to do a little bit of a longer cross to have a better first pair. Although in this specific case, I think, like I said originally, you kind of get away with it just fine. And then, okay, so the issue is that you didn't really see this orange-blue immediately. You rotated it and did white F R, white F prime. So maybe something that I could say is that if you're already planning this, then you shouldn't just blitz it, like spam those moves. Let me just go back. Yeah, you do these moves really quickly, and maybe you should have just done that on normal speed, because you would have been able to just track this, seeing that when you did this U2, and we're already solving this pair, seeing that these two pair F12 pieces were together and that they would have been split up nicely. But yeah, you did notice them really quickly and then solved it using these white F moves, which, I mean, I think it's a fine finger trick, that white F R, white F prime, but it might, yeah, I think it's just much more natural to just, if you're already at this point, rotate and do the RU R prime, because from here, you don't really see much. You just see this corner. You just know it's a blue corner, and you don't know how to proceed from there. Doing this pair that's like faster wide F won't really save you that much time, even though it solves the pair quickly, because you won't be able to look ahead as well. So yeah, just commit to the rotation and do the RUR prime, and then you'll be able to already tell that this edge goes with this F12 pair and it's oriented nicely. Yeah. I think the rest of the solve is pretty normal. Although I think there was a little bit of a pause here for this polar recognition. Yeah, so you're already at this point, and you know the moves you need to do to solve this pair. You should already be thinking about how they influence the last layer. So for example, here, you already know, I guess at this point when you're actually solving the pair, you know that because this is getting moved down, around, and back up, that you're going to have a 2x2x1 here. So it's going to be, like, that should kind of tell you which case you're getting. Obviously, if you're moving full speed, it's going to be a bit difficult, but something I would recommend doing is just setting up a random OLL case, doing the inverse to solve this pair, and then just seeing how the pieces will move and how that will influence the OLL you're going to get. Yeah, and then find POL. So that's move on. Next one, put it up. So yeah, again, this is like a bad, like not the nicest way for the pieces to be. The nicest thing here is that like these two pieces are attached to their cross to their center, so that's, I guess, decent. And besides that, you don't really have too much to work with. I don't think the way you approached the cross was the best, though. Again, you have these kind of like clumps of F2L pieces together. So you should probably be trying to preserve at least one of them. Something that I probably would have done if I'm doing white cross here is doing B2 L2 or L2 B2, I guess they're interchangeable, and kind of going after this as my first pair. So if I do B2 L2 and I just have to solve these two pieces and influence this pair nicely, I think a nice way of doing that would be doing something like U2 L F prime L prime R prime. Maybe, I don't know, that's not, it might not be the nicest case, but it would still kind of put this in the top layer or at least the corner and kind of give a nice repair. But yeah, I guess that is just one of the disadvantages of doing one cross. You don't get like the best cases usually. But yeah, let me just see what first pair you ended up doing. Okay. So I'm honestly not too convinced that you planned your first pair at all, which is obviously fine. but for this specific first pair, I think in isolation is a perfectly fine way of solving it. However, you kind of miss this rather nice multi-slotting idea, where after pairing up this pair here and then inserting it, you inserted it with, I think it was an FU to F prime, not a LU to L prime like you've written. Oh, it wasn't LU to L prime, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could have inserted it with U prime, LU prime, L prime, and that would have inserted the pair and split up this pair and set it up for a 3-mover. Maybe you just didn't see that in time, but you really should be looking out for this sort of pattern where inserting one pair in a certain way would set you up with the free pair for the next pair. They do come up like really often, and sometimes you can even force them. So yeah, it's something I should just be aware of. And then yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that third pair, so let's just continue this on the
privacy public.
Open here. Yeah, so it isn't the best case, obviously, to begin with. But really, like, okay, so you don't have any like edges oriented besides this F2L edge. So you should probably be looking to orient more edges. I'm not sure how to like tackle this case specifically. And yeah, it's fine. I think yeah, if you're giving me this exact kind of setup for the last 2 pairs, I would probably solve this pair just like how you did, but with F moves, like F prime U prime F, R prime U prime R. And then solving this pair in a way that would orient even more edges. Yeah. I think the reason I'm not the biggest fan of your solution here, U2, R, U prime, R prime, and then the same pair basically, is that it's just unnecessary. It's less moves to do the solution with the F moves, and you should already be incorporating like F moves and things like that because it plays around with different EOs and stuff. But yeah, but luckily the rest of the solve was really nice, like the cases. Yeah, this last pair was done pretty much the way you like the textbook way, and this OLL was like really nice. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of MU perms, and especially for this case, which is like counterclockwise U perm with a U2 AUF, which is really nice 2-gen like R and U alg that you can do that I would have recommended you do rather than the MU alg. But I mean, if you're comfortable doing the MU, then obviously stick with that. Although I do think that the way you finger tricked it was a bit like different than how I would have done it. So I'm not able to see too clearly the way you're holding your cube with your right hand to do your M moves. But I think the way you're clicking here could be like optimized a little bit, which would save you some speed through your M slices. All right, let's do this. So yeah, this scramble is really good, and unfortunately it wasn't taken the most advantage of. when you see a 2x1 block like this, you absolutely want to be thinking about making an X cross. And especially in this scramble, it just so happened that the corresponding edge to make this an X cross was already in place. So it would have been like rather straightforward to make an X cross from here. And you also have this edge, so like maybe if like Team Ongo had hold the scramble, like you would have found something really nice to be here. But yeah, if you really want to be taking advantage of things like this, the way I would have approached this would probably have been by holding it kind of in the same starting position and doing a U2 first to kind of move this 2x1 block and cross piece out of the way in this position. Doing an F to solve this red cross piece in relation with this blue one. And then doing R2 D prime, R2 D prime to solve the extra cross basically. And then because that's like more or less easy to, or not, I don't want to say easy, but like straightforward to plan out, maybe you could even add more to that. So for example, if you're doing U2F and then just R and D moves, then after the U2 and F, which would bring this corner to this position, it's going to stay there. So you know that this orange and blue corner is going to stay in this position and can start tracking the edge. And then if you have this, and then looking for that edge, which is right here, you know that D prime R2, the U2F R2 D prime, R2 D prime will bring it into the top layer, and you can play with that from there. So let me see if I can actually write this out in the cross solution. Or R2D, sorry. Yeah, and so just like how I predicted the pieces here, and then I would have been able to kind of go from there. So this is all an inspection, and then you can have a much like smoother solve based on that. So yeah, it's like it kind of sucks that we weren't able to see you do that because of the cross solution you ended up doing. So yeah, just definitely just be on the lookout for that sort of thing. And I need to open. All right. Yeah, so let's continue. Again, I don't think you planned anything. Let me just confirm that the video. I think there was a bit of a pause after the crossing. Okay, no, it was like rather fast. You did plan this out. So I'm wondering if you're like, you seem to be able to plan some pretty, because I remember also in the first lobby you had a similar F12 case. It was actually this case, but from this angle for your first pair on your first solve. So you're quite good at being able to plan out this sort of thing. So you can definitely like build upon that. But anyway. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the best. I want to see how you approach that in solve as well. Okay, so the good thing you did here was rotate to the right. Obviously, inserting this pair in the back is obviously far better than inserting it to the front. But you really shouldn't have gone for this pair in this way to begin with. Firstly, just if you have this exact F12 case and you're going to do it, don't do like a double sexy and then bring it over to the slot. what you can do, and from the same angle, is a sledgehammer, R prime, F bar, F prime, from right here, and it's going to leave you with a 3-move pair. Let's see if I can. Right here. Knowledge you have. But in general, you should be trying to orient your edges and last layer. Even if you have no plans on learning ZBO or CL or those things, those OLs are generally quite fast, and you can kind of predict your PLL and things like that much better with those OLs. So for this case, you have the 3 cross or the 3 last layer edges oriented except for this one, and this oriented as well, and you have the corner with the cross color facing up like this. From just this angle, you can do a sledgehammer. So let me just do what I've been doing this whole time. So I ran F okay, whatever. Basically, then the pair will be solved in this position if you are D prime R prime to solve it. And it will give you, yeah. And then I think the OLM PLO is quite normal. Although I'm pretty sure here, yeah, like it's pretty much the same case, but if you do U prime or U prime R prime, you just, in my opinion, get a nicer OLL than this. It's like the same family of cases. Like if you do this, the mirror of this OLL, so if like the P here is facing this way, you would get the OLL you would have gotten if you did U prime R prime instead of RE2 R prime here. Just random thing to point out. Yeah, and then same, the OLL PLO is all quite normal, which is good. It's a good sign. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, this is not the best already, I can tell. All right. So, yeah, the scramble's really bad. So, yeah, I think you really only have one option here. I'm not sure if this makes too much sense, so I will have to just write this out. But holding it from the same position, if you do LRFR prime, it will set the cube up like this, and you'll have like the blue and green pieces in the right spot with orange in the wrong spot. And then you can just solve the rest by doing dr prime d2r. And then that puts this pair in the top layer. I'm pretty sure that's like your only option really. And then I didn't notice this, but that's what would have happened. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not a white cross only solver, so I'm not too equipped with this like sort of like really bad cross case. But I think kind of put pieces in the top layer, kind of like a theme of what I've been saying a lot already. But yeah, you more or less know already that the moves you're doing in the top layer won't really influence this back edge. And this corner is already close to it, so you can add moves to keep this in the top layer, like I did with like RFR prime to keep this in the top layer, and then you can kind of go from there. I'm actually not even too. Yeah, I want to see what you did again. Okay, yeah. R prime, back prime, yeah. Yeah, so it's like it's good because it's like a really linear solution. I think because you did this back pair so fast, you already had that sort of intuition to know that this edge was something worth like paying attention towards. So that's actually very promising. You've written here in the notes why no keyhole, but I think solving the pair in this way is very good. It's perfectly fine. I think for this case specifically, maybe it would have been better to do keyhole, but you can't really plan for that sort of thing. When you have crosses that have so, like this is like, what, a 5-gen cross? You have so many moves like that. You're not gonna be able to keep track of things and of like evolve 4 to others or things like that. So you can't really be so upset over not doing keyhole to influence this pair or something. But yeah, like this solution is perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about that sort of thing. No, is this one? Okay, maybe, I don't know. Actually, no. I don't think there's anything wrong definitively with solving this pair with Arcani and R, like the way it's written here. But I just think it's much cleaner finger trip wise to solve it with R prime U or U2 or prime U. So do these three moves the same as after, but instead of doing U R prime U2R, just doing U2 R prime UR. It may seem like a little bit of a nitpicky thing, but you really want to maintain your flow in this like very short event. Okay, yeah. So let's go back here. Yeah, like I think that pair is fine actually. Yeah, last two pairs are like very solid. This Olo, it's like very interesting to me. If you like right here, there's no need to do U2 white R prime, like the move to do. Just from where you are, right here, you can solve the Olo using the same moves from the same. You can solve this Olo where your position right now. Doing R prime F2. F4. Right? Like, which is just literally the same move you did here. Like, and yeah, I don't know. It just wastes like a little bit of time, but that can definitely add up. And then kilo as in the rest of the average is perfect. Mm. And so let me think, now that we've gone through the solves, the main overall theme, I think, the things that I'd really like for you to focus on are inspection. I think you could utilize your inspection way better than you currently do. You have like these really good habits already where you, I know it was definitely on this solve, but I think also on this one, oh, it was on this solve, where this, like the fact that you were already able to like see these blocks in the second solve, see those blocks and make that pair and yeah, this pair here and be able to like solve it already is so good and like really promising. So it's not to say that you have like that much to work on already. You just simply need to like make sure that your cross solutions are setting you up for a good F2 and a good continuation. And then the actual pairs themselves, maybe we could go through them like every single F2 case. There aren't that many. There's like 42 and some different angles and things. So it really doesn't take that much time to go through and make sure that they're good. Like for example, that R2, U2 in the first solve with second pair and things like that. That can be improved upon. And then I think I'm trying to think for because so those two things alone are going to be like a lot of work, and things that would like really improve your times. And then things like the like more like random cube knowledge, things like this last solved LLO, things like that. Those are things that like you can probably like also fine tune as well. So yeah. And
So
yeah,
Patrick,
yeah.
I think there's a few things that you mentioned in terms of, for example, inspection that maybe could be improved. Do you have any maybe tips or any ideas of maybe exercises that he could use to work towards inspection to try and improve his inspection? Do you have any advice related to that?
Like I think for practicing inspection, I could probably come up with like cases, sort of like scrambles, very specific ones that force you to play with these like concepts more. A lot of it comes down to like a lot of repetition, and so maybe like solving isn't the best for this because you're only doing cross once and then your entire rest of your solves. So I think like this is the sort of thing where you like just take a scramble, plan out the cross and things like that, and then do it again. Like immediately stop again, scramble and repeat again, and then start again. It's a bit difficult to like assign. It's more or less a repetition thing, and then coming back and checking in and seeing where like where you are in terms of that. So like to because that sounds a bit like complicated. Basically, I would just give them like a set of scrambles, make sure that it's cases that like force you to like cases with like a lot of like flipped edges or like a rather simple cross, but absolutely no first F2L error and things like that, and then kind of make it easier to explain to them what they need to do and work on those things.
So doing repetition, essentially not just doing solves, but also intentionally trying to practice it by doing it multiple times, and also trying to pick bad cases that are more difficult to do, and so that you really get a lot of practice on
especially if you're doing one cross, then you're gonna have to tackle with like bad cases more frequently, and that's gonna be really important that you deal with that.
Like fourth scramble that we had, right?
Or in the last one as well. I think also for like going through your F2L cases, that's really something that can be done in like a 30-minute like one-on-one call, and that would help like drastically. Just going through every single case and making sure that every single case is like polished and good, and like you remove those not so efficient or not so fast solutions. And the last part like that I said, like the cube knowledge, like things like not doing like unnecessary U2s when you can just do things from different angles. I really don't know how to like that's sort of like the thing where you kind of like need someone like over your shoulder kind of giving you advice. So that's kind of like the things that I want to be able to share with like my students and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's also something that comes with experience. It's not something that you learn directly, and it takes a lot of while. Maybe sometimes going through with a coach, for example, you get to see them and you get to understand it, and then it takes a while to actually put it into practice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like the Keating here is like very like clearly already like quite fast, and I think he could turn out quite better. We could definitely work together and definitely improve. So like that's quite exciting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that we've already gone over time a little bit. That's okay, fine. But no worries about that. And I think that's it for the analysis for Cadence Solves. And thank you very much, Patrick. And thank you everyone for sticking with us. I know that we had quite a few difficulties during the stream. It is the first one that we're doing like this, so I want to thank everyone for being patient and staying with us. But now I think we've got the issues resolved, and it should be a lot better for the next stream. So yeah, thanks again, Patrick. And if you are very interested in what you saw today with Patrick, then you can go check us out at cubing.life. And of course, there's the 5% coupon code that you can get that's below on the screen right now. And yeah, thank you very much. And we're going to be doing the next stream, as I mentioned at the beginning, on Wednesday. So in only 4 days from now with Tommy. So stay tuned for that. There's more information on our website as well. And I welcome you to join. Any final words, Patrick?
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're interested. And yeah, I hope you can check out the website, check out the different courses that different tutors are offering, and yeah, check it out to see if something is interesting to you. And if not, maybe you can share it with your friends or other people that you know might be interested. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you everyone during the stream as well, or anything that maybe Patrick mentioned today, then feel free to contact us. So we have our email on the website, and you can send us an email, and then we can maybe have some further discussions or answer any other questions that you might have. Yeah, so thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so I've ended the stream right now.